Welcome back, my wonderful students, to the continuation of 5-6 point slope form, and this is obviously going to be part 2. So I'm going to quickly step out of the way, and there's a new set of instructions I want you to write down, and then write down example number 5. So it says write an equation in the slope-intercept form given 2 points, right? So I know we're working with the point-slope form. We are going to still be working with the slope-intercept form, so make sure that sometime during this you've already hit pause and copied this down. Alright, so you can see I still have my number 5 plugged in right there behind me. So I have that, but I also just wrote some new steps. Now I kept these a little bit shorter, but step 1, you're going to have to find the slope. If you can't remember how to do that, go watch the video on slope. Use the point slope, well, that was part 1 of this, and then change into the slope intercept form. That was part 2 of the y-intercept videos. So there's 3 videos you can go back and rewatch if none of these instructions make sense. So make sure that sometime during this little speech you've hit pause and you've copied this down. All right, so now we're going to follow those instructions and we're going to do our problem. All right, so step 1. You have to find slope. Well, I'm given 2 points, right? This says point slope form. I don't have a slope. I don't have an M, right? Even on the slope intercept form, you need an M. I have no M. I have 2 points. That's it, just 2 points. So I'm going to label my points. So label the points. X and Y, call that 1 and 1. X2, Y2, right? So I labeled my points. Now let's find my slope. So I have M equals Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. I'm going to plug in my numbers. Here's my minus signs. So Y2 is 6. Y1 is -2. Got to be careful, make sure that's negative. And then my X2 is 8, and my X1 is 4. Now I'm going to find that out. So I'm going to type in 6 minus 2 will give me an 8. And 8 minus 4 is 4. Now at this point, type that into your calculator as a fraction, because this is what it will tell you, that the slope is 2, right? Now, I know slope is always 2 numbers, but it's like 2 over 1, but I don't need it. So you just found your slope. So slope equals 2. So we now have a slope, and we still have 2 points. So now we're going to move on to step number 2 of using the point slope formula, right? So I'm not going to rewrite it down because I have it written right there once and right here twice. So again, now I already have this labeled. How convenient. All right, so I'm going to go Y minus, what's my Y1 again? -2 equals, okay, now we found our slope. What is our slope? Our slope is 2. So now take this 2 that we just calculated and plug it in. Then we go X minus, and what's my X1? 4. All right, now at this point, remember I don't like having the minus next to a negative, so we're going to simplify that and go Y plus 2 equals 2x minus 4. And then we move on to step number 3, is change this into the y-intercept form, or solve for y. So again, we're going to take the 2 and distribute it and get rid of my parentheses first. And I'm going to get 2x minus 8. Drop down the y plus 2. Get this plus 2 away from the y, so minus 2, minus 2. Remember, I put it all the way under the 8. I don't do it to the 2. So this is y equals 2x minus 10, and that is my answer. Right? So, again, this is a little bit more complicated because they don't give us a slope. They just give me 2 points. This is the hardest type of math problem that we'll probably have in this chapter. So you first got to find your slope, and then from there, it's just like the previous examples 1 through 4. use that slope, use the first point, plug it into that formula, and then change it around, right? So we'll do one more example, and we'll be done with this video. So make sure to hit pause and get all this written down, and then maybe go back and listen to it again. All right, so here's our example 6. I have 2 different points. I have a -1, comma, -5, and then my second point is 2, 10. Now remember, at any time, hit pause and copy this down. I still have my instructions right behind me. I might advise writing these again, just so that you know what to do. But again, you can hit pause right now and pretty much write down both. All right, so with that being said and done, let's start following our example. All right, our 2 points, label them X and Y's. X, Y, X, Y. These are the second dot. These are my first dot. Right? Find slope, right? So here's my equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Right? I'm going to fill that in. Put my minus signs first, right? So I have my y2 is 10. My y1 is -5. That's why I put my minus sign in case I get this -5 right here. Then I'm going to go with my x2, which is 2, and my x1, which is -1, right? Now again, make sure that you type this into the calculator right, and you will get a 15. All over 2 minus -1 will actually become a +3. And if you type that into your calculator, it will take that 15 divided by 3, happens to be 5/1. Or simply put, your slope is 5. Okay, because 5/1 is the same thing as 5. So we found our slope. All right, so now let's use our second equation, our point slope, and plug in. So there's my y minus, what's my y1 on this one? -5 equals, what's my slope? Right here, 5. X minus, what's my x1? -1. All right, so on this one, I have a lot of minus with the negatives, minus with the negatives, so I'm going to change that. So it's going to be y plus the 5. That 5 I leave alone, x plus 1. All right? So to change this into the slope-intercept form, I have to distribute my 5. So I'm going to go 5 times x, 5 times 1. So I'm going to go y plus 5 equals 5x plus 5. All right, so I did my distributive property, I multiplied. And now I'm just going to move this 5 back over to here. So minus 5, and then I have y equals 5x, and then these two, 5 plus the -5 is 0. And that is my answer. And that is in my slope-intercept form, right? Y followed by the equal sign, followed by my slope or some number in front of x, followed by a plain number, right? So that's how you find or create an equation from 2 points, right? So make sure that you have all this copied down, and then maybe go back and listen to it again. So this is going to have 2 worksheets so that you get a lot of practice before the test, because the test is going to cover how to do this. So have a math-tastic time and have a math-tastic day.